Welcome back, everyone. Jerry Hall from Costa Rica checking in. And today I put together a video on a thesis that I came up with when I caught wind, like many of you did, that Ripple was expanding its staff to incorporate a loan product manager. That is right. So before I do, I just want to take a quick peek at the markets for you. It appears that there is a little trouble in Mudsville. Many have pointed to this particular whale alert, which showed some Bitcoin being moved from a dormant wallet, a wallet that has been dormant since 2009. Now, they're stating that these coins were mined in the first month of Bitcoin's existence. I find this extremely intriguing that through all the ups and downs in this market, that some 11 years after the coins were mined, they are now resurfacing. Now that's either incredible patience or somebody that was mining Bitcoin in the, at the very beginning had lost the laptop or the computer or put it in the, put it in the basement, pulled the sheet back and went, oh, I remember that computer. I was playing around on that Bitcoin code and mining some Bitcoin. Well, boy, Bitcoin's not, free anymore. Take out the hard drive, do the exploration, bada bing, bada boom, and hey, look what I found. I think this will be a story that gets a tremendous amount of attention. I don't know how much stock I'm going to put into it until I see more of these alerts telling me that more and more Bitcoin from wallets that have been dormant for 11 years are resurfacing. Until that point, I reserve judgment to make an opinion. However, I do have an opinion on this topic of Ripple and their product loan manager and what that means. So let me take you here. So this is from Investopedia. I will tell you that when I got into this space in February of 2018, the largest conviction that I had around XRP was the fact that it was working within a regulated system, this legacy financial system, that it had a use case to repatriate actual working capital that was being held in accounts around the world to facilitate money flows. Now that to me, I thought to myself, okay, if I'm a bank or a financial institution and I am having to hold millions of dollars of my capital in a foreign country bank account just so that I can facilitate business transactions, if something presented itself that I could eliminate that, I would jump on it. Liquidity is king. The ability to come in and out, use your working capital for purposes of profit. That's what business is all about. So it was, to me, a no-brainer, and I'm sure it was also a selling point for many of you. Now, this article or this actual document from Investopedia really is something that is just defining what a Nostro or Vostro account is. I'll give it to you in English. Nostro, from the root Latin word, is ours or mine. Vostro is yours. And that's really all it means. And it came from the early days in banking in Italy back in the 1600s. And it's just kind of stuck. Much like almost everything in medicine, as it pertains to anatomy and terminology in medical circles is all Latin based, because that's when all the real things were defined in the early days of that particular industry. This is no different. But let's get into my thesis. So here's an article from Brianne Madigan, October 17, 2019. She was at this particular conference. As you can see, it's the OECD. This is an article on Ripple Insights. But I want to take you down to this one particular two little paragraphs. Ripple's vision is to collaborate between traditional financial institutions and technology innovators for the explicit use case of cross-border payments, specifically by leveraging the digital asset XRP as a bridge currency. Ripple facilitates instant fiat to fiat payments across borders for partners like MoneyGram. One thing not stated in that particular paragraph is that it is the complete transaction when you are using the digital asset XRP. It is just not a super fast message. It is the actual settlement of the value. That is the big differentiator. That is not present today without the use of Nostra Vostra accounts. That is the crux of the value added proposition that RippleNet, with the use of XRP and ODL, that is in essence the entire value proposition. But let me continue. There is no singular third party or global central bank that keeps track of how cross-border payments move and are settled. So the world has created a complex system of correspondent banking and Nostra Vostra accounts that trap an estimated $10 trillion in capital. Using digital assets as a bridge currency can effectively free up this trapped capital and make the process of sending money cross-border faster, less expensive, and more scalable by providing liquidity on demand. Now that I've set the stage, this is my thesis in a nutshell. Here's that quick Ripple posting of the Director of Product Management, loans. Many of you have seen this. Many of you seen this article. Ripple is working on a loan offering that will work in connection with its XRP payment solution. Here are the quick takes, right? The company's offering would provide working capital loans to its RippleNet customers. A Ripple spokesman told the block that the loan product would work in connection with on-demand liquidity payment solution, which uses XRP. Okay, it goes like this. What I believe is being done is that Ripple is going to leverage its working capital wallet of approximately 7 billion XRP and its escrow account XRP in such a way that these financial institutions that have their Nostra and Vostra accounts can take loans of XRP and start to integrate ODL flows between existing corridors and creation and establishment of new fiat pair corridors. Now, why hasn't that happened already? Well, one of the issues I believe is that when you look at the last several years and you look at banking as a whole, the equity, the equity valuations of banking stocks have not done that well. And why should they, or how could they? Banks have traditionally made their money charging interest. And as the interest to borrow money gets lower and lower and lower, their ability to profit from endeavors of that nature obviously go down. Well, if you have an existing money flow, part of your existing business, which you're receiving obviously commission or payment to provide for your customers, i.e. cross-border payments, whether it be your business, large corporation, etc., you have to have those Nostra Vostra accounts. It's part of your everyday business. You can't just adopt RippleNet and start sending flows without having the ability on both sides of the transaction to make it happen, which means you have to have the XRP to begin with. Or you have to have some kind of credit line to get it started. And that's exactly what I believe this loan program will be the ability for the Bitstamps and Bitsos and CoinPHs and BTC markets of the world, as well as your Bank of Americas, your PNC banks, your Santanders, etc., SBIs, to be able to leverage the XRP that Ripple is holding for a small fee and begin to integrate the actual digital asset into money flows. If I could take a loan of XRP while maintaining my Nostra Vostra accounts and start to integrate certain payments using XRP without having it cost me much in the beginning, as I am scaling up those corridors, I can begin to scale back my Nostra Vostra capital. This to me seems the most logical explanation for this new department. Now, obviously, I believe Brianne Madigan, Miguel Valles, and the whole Ripple Markets team has been working on different elements of this for a long time. I believe all that work that preceded this particular job announcement led to this job announcement. They've realized it's that big. It's time to formalize. It's time to make something that's universal and available to all of the RippleNet clients. Good for Ripple. I see this as nothing more than positive. I'm all about increasing ODL flows, as I'm sure every single one of you XRP investors is also. But that's enough for me from today. Folks, thank you for tuning in. I would appreciate if you could subscribe, like, and leave a comment as I'm trying to grow this channel. If you want to support me, please tweet this out on Twitter, mention it on Facebook, add links to this, tell your friends and family. And until next time, everybody, from Costa Rica, Pura Vida.